for lots of things. Used to be, and I think they should bring this back, honestly, but used to be at Lorenzo, if you were tardy to class, you went to detention. But they don't do that anymore. So I sent many people to detention for being tardy. Happened multiple times.
That's an interesting word. Tardy. What happens if you, is there like a certain point, like, if you're late, like, 30 times, do you have some suspension or something? Like, is there, because like...
So we just wrote the title. That's what it looks like to me. Is that right?
Yeah. What if you're used to detention, so you just come in late all the time?
Back when I did detention, you wouldn't want to do that because it wasn't fun.
Oh, you did detention?
For a while, until I was tired of it.
What's detention?
I started doing it because before I took it over, it was garbage and it was stupid and it made me mad. And I was like, I could do better than that. And so I took it over and it was terrible and they didn't like it. In fact, I had a few people sometimes that would intentionally like skip detention and rather go to ISS than go to my detention. It was great. Detention should not be fun.
What was your detention like?
I made them sit there and do nothing. Literally nothing.
Like just sit there?
Yep.
But that's not so bad.
You would think that, but no.
How long would they have to sit there?
Half an hour.
That's not that bad.
I promise you that it's worse than it sounds.
So you wouldn't talk to them, you just let them sit there?
They were not allowed to talk. The dumbest thing and if they get kicked out of detention, because I would kick kids out if they needed to be kicked out, they had to go out ISS the next day. The dumbest time I ever kicked two kids out of detention and they went to ISS was I turned around and picked something up, and then when I turned back around, they were sitting there playing Thumb War. Goodbye. See you later. Get out of my room. Yeah, it was stupid. They were in junior high. Most of the kids that get sent to detention were in junior high. This is obvious.
Wait, so you didn't talk to them or anything?
They were not allowed to talk. Also, in my detention, this was they have to sit there in a chair, or sit up straight. They were not allowed to sit. They were not allowed to lean over and whatever else. Not allowed to sleep. Not allowed to nod off. Not allowed to do any of that stuff. I also turned my AC way down. That was a lot of fun.
Really? Did you leave a clock up there so they could see what they could do?
No.
Good idea.
So here's the first example.
I like this guy.
4x plus 6y equals 32. But I did get very tired of doing detention because, believe it or not, I don't actually like being a jerk, and, I kind of had to be a jerk. So I got very tired of doing detention. And then when I stopped doing it, they kind of went back to it being stupid. Not quite as stupid as originally, but they'd have them copy out of the dictionary or do homework. If they're getting detention and they're allowed to do homework, then this is not a punishment. This is a benefit.
Why is it a benefit?
Because it gives them time.
Something to do, and they get time to do their homework, whatever else. Okay, so to solve a system using elimination, our first goal is to eliminate one of the variables. Okay, in order to do that, we need them to be one of the variables to be opposite of the other one. So in this particular first example, we already have that because we have 6y and negative 6y, right? So they're already opposites. So once you have them opposites, what we do next is we draw a line underneath, and then we add them up by column. So 4x plus 3x is 7x. And then 6y minus 6y, of course, cancels, which is what we want. We want one of them to go away. We bring down our equals, and then 32 plus 3 equals 35.
So do you always just add it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait.
For what?
You always add it. Because if it's a negative, then you still add it. It's just going to go down. Like if it's 32 plus negative 3, then it's going to be...
29.
Right.
Yes.
You still add it.
Yes. Yes.
But adding a negative is the same thing as subtracting.
True facts.
Do it that way.
True facts. All of those things are true. So now we can just divide the 7 off, right? And so we end up with x equals 5.
That's really simple.
Yeah, that
If
really
we're
is.
done.
Well, we got to find y now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take and we're going to substitute this 5 in for either one of the x's in either one of the equations. Which one do y'all want to pick?
The 3x?
The second one, that sounds great. So we're going to substitute it in for x right here. So when we substitute there was a little bit of confusion from some folks on substituting stuff in. When you substitute this in, this x goes away because we're replacing it with the 5, right? Okay, so 3, and then we're going to put, instead of an x, we're going to put parentheses, right?
With 5 in it.
We'll do that in a second. But yes, minus 6y equals 3, right? And then wherever there's parentheses, we're substituting in the 5, right?
Since there's only one thing to substitute, can you just put parentheses 5 and just write it that way? Like,
That is what I did. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
like not going back and doing it, just like writing the parentheses.
Yes.
5 and anything in.
Yes.
Problem with it.
Of course. How would I know that you had not done that? It's not going to look any different. You got to think a little more sneaky there, Hannah. You got to get things sneaky-fied. It's okay to be a little bit sneaky. Sometimes a good thing, because sometimes when you're trying to be sneaky, you learn more. Because you learn how to make things work. And if in order to learn how to make things work, you have to know how they work to begin with.
I've actually done that before. That's why sometimes I'm just like taking a test and I'm like, oh!
And then sometimes when you choose to be sneaky, you make mistakes. So make sure you know what you're doing before you be sneaky. Okay. 3 times 5 is
15.
15.
I'm actually like,
Good.
And then we would minus or subtract 15.
Yeah.
oh, no, I wrote 8 still.
That's hilarious. That's actually really, really funny. Yay, I multiplied. Oh, wait, I didn't. That's really funny. Funny, funny, funny.
So it's going to be negative 12. So negative 6y equals negative 2.
All that's true. And then we're going to divide that negative 6, right?
So it's
Oh,
And then it, but it,
then we can't put
yeah,
the
that's
positive.
that's what I meant to. Positive 2.
Positive 2. So then the very last thing we have to do, of course, is to write our answer as an ordered pair, right? So which one goes first, x or y?
X.
X does. So the answer is the ordered pair 5, 2.
That's a lot easier than
Are we
the
gonna have
That
to
is
listen
way easier.
Wait, no, we didn't have homework. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, we did write. We had to write the title. We already did that.
Let's do a couple of guided practices. Remember that if you are watching this as a video, to do the guided practice and pause the video.
Yeah, we have to.
Guided practice number 1 is negative 4x plus 3y equals negative 3, and 4x plus, minus 5y equals 5. And guided practice number 2 is going to be 4y plus 3x equals 22, and 3x minus 4y equals 14. Guided practice number 2 is just a little bit sneaky, so watch out.
Yeah, I have a question about it.
Of course you can.
So do you, okay, I'm not gonna pause
Wait,
and
how do you do that?
we just have to just like try it.
4y plus 3. Like you take
Ready, go.
It's
Ow.
You have to do the weird pregnancy thing.
Yes.
Only on one side?
What are you talking about? I'm confused.
Okay, on the example you did the,
curly brace.
yeah, like curly brace.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that.
Oh, well then it's not okay. I'll go try
That was
like
just
that.
his way of being fancy.
No, it's how I did it when I was your age. Probably, I suspect Saxon does it that way because that's the textbook that we use. But most textbooks these days seem like they don't use that big curly brace. And so I've started just leaving it off until, out of habit, I accidentally put it back on. There you go. There's what should have happened. So, do you have any questions on those?
I got it right, so I'm happy to do it.
I got the first one wrong because I did something weird.
Okay, we'll figure it out. If you can't figure it out, let me know and we'll help you.
I don't know what I was doing, plugging in a window. I'm looking at the wrong problem. What am I doing? No, I forgot to keep a negative. I picked off a negative and got something weird.
You forgot to keep.
I don't know. So I did. I plugged mine into a different equation.
You what?
I plugged mine into a different equation, but that shouldn't affect it.
You should still be able to get the right answer. Did you get the Y right?
The y? The y? Yeah, I got the y right.
Okay.
I got the x wrong. I got 2.5.
So if you plugged it in here, it would have been 4x minus 5 times negative 1 equals 5. So you'd end up with 4x plus 5 equals 5. What?
I didn't have I forgot to put the negative on there.
Gotcha. There it is. You were right without knowing you were right.
I got the second one right.
Yes, you may.
So you just switcheroo and then get negative 4 plus 3x. But the 3x doesn't cancel because they're added, right? Actually, well,
Right. Yes. Yeah, the 3x because it's 3x plus 3x. So it does not cancel.
But the 4 does because 4 plus negative x equals 0. That cancels.
Yes. Negative 4 plus 4, yes, is 0. That's right.
On the second one, do you have to rearrange it, or can you rearrange it in your head and not write it down, or do you?
I would do it by hand.
I just wrote it down.
Huh?
I just wrote it down.
What do you mean you just wrote it down?
I just put
Did you add it?
negative 4.
You did it when you were copying the problem down. Is that what you're saying?
No.
No.
I wrote the problem and then I did the little arrow thing and then I wrote under it the negative 4y plus 3x.
Oh, I see.
I like that part.
So you could tell that I switched
Did
it.
you get it right? I got it right.
But yeah, I did.
The more steps you show, the less likely you'll make careless mistakes. That's always true. All right, let's look at a second example.
And the more steps you show, if you get it wrong, you get more points because he sees how you get it.
Also true. That's also completely true. That's also very, very, very true, which means that your handwriting matters.
Next lesson or next exam?
No, next example. Example 2.
Example.
2t. What are you saying, Hannah?
Huh?
What are you saying?
I have GP number 2 and then example number 2.
I know, but what did you actually say out loud?
Ejemplos? That's Spanish examples.
Yeah. I follow you now.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you were. Never mind. It's fine. Because you said the same word twice, just in English and Spanish. I was confused. I thought you were going to say the number instead.
What? Oh.
But you did not, in fact, do that.
Is that a 2 or a Z?
I do my Z's like that, so you don't have to ask that. But thanks for asking anyway. I am not being sarcastic. Okay, so there's two issues right now with this example, right? One is we need to do some fruit basket turnover. We need to make it to where the variables actually line up, right? So let's do that first. So I'm going to rewrite the first one here. So 2t plus 5r equals 6. And then the second one would be 2t plus 9r equals 22. So we have a problem now, right? Because we don't have opposites.
Yeah.
So we have to force one of them to be opposite. So what we need to do is we need to multiply one or both of them by a number that makes it be an opposite. So these two are almost opposites, right? All that needs to happen is one of them needs to be negative. So what we can do is we can multiply one of them times -1.
Okay.
Right? It is simple enough. So when we multiply this times -1, of course that does is flips all the signs, right? So it flips it to -2t minus 9r equals -22. And then I'm going to rewrite that first one so we have some clarity.
So it doesn't matter which one's on top and which one's on bottom?
It does not,
Because it's adding.
because it's adding. That's right.
Subtraction, it would matter though.
But then only kind of. But yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're into something that we know what to do with, right? So now these cancel. And then we end up with -4r equals -16, right? And then we'll divide both sides by -4.
Which would be +4.
Which would be R equals 4.
And then you yeah, it does equal +4. Then you have to solve for t.
And then we do have to solve for t. We're going to do that by substituting. That's right.
I'll put it in the first problem.
Sounds like a good idea. Either one would be fine. I'm going to plug it in the one with the smaller numbers. That sounds smart to me.
I'm going to plug it into the one that doesn't have negatives. Because it has actually
T plus 5 times 4 equals 6. So then we're going to multiply those numbers. So we end up with 2t plus 20 equals 6. We would subtract 20. That cancels, leaving us with 2.
But which one's X and which one's Y?
Neither.
Do we just point it how we want to point?
This would be numbers that go with a word problem, probably.
So would we write it as an ordered pair? Or
They do in the answers, but they also give you multiple choice. But no, I would just circle the R and the T. What am I writing? 2t equals -14, dividing 2 on both sides.
I did it.
No, -7.
True.
I did it.
Good job.
So if it does ask for a order repair, which one would we put first?
Well, it would give us
Oh
an
yeah,
X,
then there's
Y,
no
and
X,
Z.
Y.
If this asked for order repair, it would tell you.
It would tell you which ones was first.
It would tell you it might say something like the independent variable is t. So you put it in the X slot.
X is the independent variable.
Yes, it is. And Y is the dependent variable. Okay, let's do a word problem.
Oh, we were going so good.
I think we still will. What do you want to bet?
I'll bet you. Nothing.
Okay. Cheryl.
What is that?
Oh.
And
Oh, it looked like a cherry from far away.
but I said Cheryl out loud, so you know. And
Jeff.
Jackie.
Oh, that's close.
Work at an ice cream shop.
Here.
Cheryl earns $9.25 per hour. And Jackie earns $8.75 per hour. Excuse me. During a typical week, Cheryl and Jackie earn $334.75 together. 1 week. Jackie doubles her work hours. Is your wrist sore? And the girls earn $466. How many hours does each girl work during a typical week?
$5.377.
The answer is a time, buddy. Right? Okay, so we have two variables, which means we need two equations, right? It also makes sense because since we're in the unit called system, so of course we're going to use a system to solve it, right? So we need to set up a couple of equations, right? So what is our first equation going to look like?
9.25 plus
9.25 something.
Just use the variable for a variable.
There you go. What variable should we use for Cheryl?
C.
C would make a lot of sense. In word problems, it's almost always useful to use meaningful variables because it makes it less confusing.
Plus 8.75 J.
Equals
334.75.
334.75.
I thought variables were always lowercase.
No, they're not always lowercase. They're not even always English. Sometimes they're Greek.
Alphabetic,
You just spoke Greek. You just said some Greek letters, which is not quite the same.
I just spoke Greek.
I just spoke Greek. It's so proud. Okay, what should we do now?
Make the other equation.
Yes, we should. So what's the other equation going to be?
Hold on. Wait, who makes double? Cheryl? Wait, Jackie, so, hold on.
So,
It has to equal 466.
2J plus,
So now with 9.25C, because Cheryl stays the same.
oh,
Wait, how do you get 2J? Oh!
Doubles. P doubles.
How does that look? That make sense? Does that sound right to y'all? It is a she because they said girls.
oh, I thought they were talking.
Jackie is an androgynous name.
They are talking about two different people.
I mean, I thought they were talking about.
I guess any name is, but you know, whatevs.
I was confused.
No, they didn't add any more people. Then we would have to do like a 4x4 system, and that would be sad. Because y'all are barely starting to do 2x2s.
This makes.
If I had to do a 4x4 system, I would not do it by hand.
Or, what would you do it by?
With a computer. Even if the computer is a calculator. Yeah. Nobody in their right mind that's actually doing work with systems, so electrical engineers and the like, would do a large system by hand.
But what,
Nobody.
like, how long would it take to do a 4x4 system by hand?
It would fill up a page or two, at least.
Okay.
That wouldn't take too long.
Are we learning how to do that?
Not this year.
We've already filled up the page.
Okay. So now we know what to do, right?
Yeah.
So are we gonna solve the second one first?
Wait, no. We have to get it,
We have to multiply.
we have to make it negative, so we have to,
Oh, yeah.
But should
multiply the
we
bottom
do
by
it
negative one.
Do we have to
Should we combine? Yeah, like that.
We should totally do that. Yeah, that's great.
So we have to like rewrite the whole thing because of that one thing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 2 times.
I thought you punched that in your calculator a minute ago. Didn't you do that?
35's halves.
I
35's halves?
35 halves.
I get 17.5.
It said 35 halves. Are you sure?
Or something like that.
2 times 8.75
It's 17.
17.5.
Hold on.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, 35 halves. 35's.
But you don't want fractions
8.65
of
times 2. 35 halves.
17.
You should be able to push a button and make it convert it for you. Let me see if I
because
can
we
figure
need
it out.
decimals because it's
There's got to be a fraction decimal button somewhere.
oh I forgot to put my J over here.
There's probably a mode where you can tell it you want that normally, but probably. Very pretty answer. Oh, there it is.
Huh.
And then now we're gonna do our times 1, negative 1.
Which is quite useful.
It's 17.5, guys.
Yeah. But negative, right? Because we're also multiplying times negative 1.
So the numbers don't change; they just become negative.
Well,
I mean, they do change.
this one changes because we multiply times 2. But yeah, the negative 1 only changes the sign. Yes.
Which I guess it sort of changes the number, but the numbers you use in some don't change. Okay.
So then these will cancel. Right?
And it's gonna be
Negative 8.75.
Which you probably could have done without the calculator with a little thought, but that's okay. You're not the only one that punched it in the calculator.
Did you?
No, I did not. My hand is in my pocket. But I don't usually anyway. I'll let y'all do that. That's why I always ask, does somebody else agree? Then either you made the same mistake or, whatever else. So what's 334.75 minus 466?
131.25.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
And then what?
And then we're gonna divide it by, the negative 8.75.
This is the process of elimination, right?
It is
Okay.
using elimination. Elimination method.
J equals 15.
15. And then what are we going to do?
Plug it in.
Oh my goodness. Jeez, bro.
This is more fun than substitution.
Hey.
Good.
What? Because it uses more things than just substitution.
It's easy.
I'm so
It's just
dumb.
more fun.
I'm so dumb. I just put in my calculator 8.75 times 15 when we just did.
What are you talking about, man?
I already know the answer to 8.75 times 15. I should.
You should.
Yes.
What is it?
131.25.
Yeah, that would be how we got that number. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, but it's okay. You're learning,
Wait,
teaching yourself.
but
We already did it.
Well, we did the other way down. Why is what still what?
Never mind. I'm looking at something weird. Differently.
Did you plug it into the other one?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Differently.
But, so we're gonna have to multiply the second one by negative. Or,
No.
no.
What?
No, you were just substituting.
Oh, yeah.
What? So 15 times 8.75. 131.25. Oh wow, I'm so behind.
You're doing great.
203.5. So it's going to be
Wait a
9.25.
second.
Oh.
No, it's
I was going so good.
so it's 131.25J. And then that's the thingy that cancels. No. Yeah.
How can you do that in your head?
22.
I can't.
I didn't do it in my head.
You have the teacher book.
I do have the teacher book.
So 22. So
So Jackie works 15 hours and Cheryl
wait.
works
Yeah, you're right.
22 hours.
Cheryl works more hours and she gets more money.
Well,
She's got a better pay too, so.
Yep.
She's got a better job.
So she's doing all kinds of things better.
Well, she's got a better.
Good for Cheryl.
Hours, which makes her get
No,
more
she
money.
gets.
Okay. It is currently 11:04. This is what is going to happen. Are we paying attention? Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to give you the rest of the class to work on it. If you're really lucky, you can finish it today and tomorrow and still have a full spring break worth a week. Or you can put it off till the last minute. Don't do that, but you can.
I'm going to do that.
Because my goal for you is to still make you have an entire week of spring break. But if you choose to not do that, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. You did it.
Okay. What's the homework? Still have to do test.
What test?
New test
Science test.
Oh, I'll take that and get like a 90 on it. I'm good.
What are you doing?
If we have a science test.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm good.
I
at
thought you
science.
were talking about the math test. a
I'm
couple
better
weeks
at
ago.
math.
I'm terrible at math.
I think
All right, I'll give you the science answers. You can
Pages
Let's go.
354 through 355. Numbers 8 through 32 evens.
So I don't have to do all of them this time?
Did you do all of them last
No,
time?
you didn't. Yes! Now you know how it feels!
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I was sitting that's just a joke, right?
Yeah, you're not actually supposed to do that.
My goodness.